Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of British coin collecting. In this episode, we'll explore the top 5 most valuable United Kingdom 1 shilling coins that collectors around the world are searching for. The 1 shilling coin, also known as the bob, was an important part of British currency for centuries before decimalisation in 1971. Many of these coins were produced in different years, conditions, and mint varieties, and some have become highly valuable in the collector's market. So if you have old British coins lying around, one of them might be worth far more than you think. Let's get started. First up, the 1953 United Kingdom 1 shilling. This historic coin marks an important moment in British numismatic history because it was among the first circulation coins issued during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. Collectors around the world admire this coin not only for its design and history but also for its potential value in the collector's market. In today's video, we'll explore the background of the 1953 1 shilling coin, its unique features, how rare it is in different conditions, and what it might sell for at auctions today in US dollars. The year 1953 was a very special year for the United Kingdom because it marked the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II. Following her accession to the throne in 1952, new coins were introduced featuring her portrait. The 1953 1 shilling was among the earliest circulating coins to display the young Queen's image, making it historically significant for collectors and historians alike. At that time, the British monetary system was still based on the old pre-decimal structure, where 20 shillings made £1. A single shilling was equivalent to 12 old pennies. The coin itself was made from cupronickel and minted primarily in London. It weighed about 5.65 grams and measured approximately 23.6 millimeters in diameter. Interestingly, the 1953 shilling was issued in 2 main reverse designs. The English reverse, showing 3 lions in a shield, and the Scottish reverse, showing a single lion within a shield beneath a crown. These 2 variations add an extra layer of interest for collectors searching for different types of the same coin. One of the most recognizable aspects of the 1953 1 shilling coin is the elegant portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse. The Queen is depicted facing right, wearing a laurel wreath. Surrounding the portrait is the Latin inscription Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Brit Omen Regina, meaning Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen of all the Britons. The reverse side of the coin features detailed heraldic imagery representing different parts of the United Kingdom. In the English version, the shield with 3 lions symbolizes England, while the Scottish version features the lion rampant, representing Scotland. Above the shield sits a royal crown, and below it appears the denomination 1 shilling. Another interesting feature is the coin's reeded edge, which gives it a distinctive textured feel. These design elements combine historical symbolism with elegant craftsmanship, making the coin visually appealing even today. Despite its historical importance, the 1953 1 shilling is generally considered a fairly common coin because millions were minted. The English reverse version alone had a mintage of around 41 million coins, while the Scottish reverse had over 20 million coins produced. Because of this large production number, many examples of the coin still exist today. However, condition plays a huge role in determining its desirability. Coins in damaged or heavily circulated conditions such as those with scratches, discoloration, or worn details are usually less valuable to collectors. That said, even damaged coins can still attract interest from beginners in the coin collecting hobby. For someone building a complete set of British shillings or coins from the early reign of Queen Elizabeth II, owning a 1953 example even in worn condition can still be worthwhile. So how much is a 1953 United Kingdom 1 shilling coin actually worth today? The answer depends largely on its condition and which design variation it has. According to coin value guides, a typical circulated example in fine condition may sell for around 10 pence to 15 pence, which is roughly $434,000. Coins in very fine or extremely fine condition can reach about $321,000, or approximately $431,000. Uncirculated examples may sell for $217,000, which is around $116,000 depending on demand and market trends. Occasionally, coins in exceptional mint condition or graded by professional coin grading companies can sell for higher prices in online auctions or collector marketplaces. Special proof sets or rare variations may also command premium prices among serious collectors. If you're interested in collecting British coins like the 1953 1 shilling, there are a few helpful tips to keep in mind. First, always check the condition of the coin carefully. The clearer the details and the less wear visible, the more valuable the coin is likely to be. Look for the 2 different reverse designs, the English and Scottish versions. Some collectors enjoy building sets that include both varieties. Proper storage is essential. Keeping coins in protective holders, capsules, or albums can prevent scratches, corrosion, and discoloration over time. Maintaining good condition helps preserve the coin's value for the future. Always compare prices from reliable coin catalogs, auction results, or reputable coin dealers before buying or selling. In conclusion, the 1953 United Kingdom 1 shilling may not be one of the rarest coins in British numismatics, but it holds a special place in history as one of the first coins issued during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. Its beautiful design, historical significance, and connection to the coronation era make it a fascinating collectible for coin enthusiasts. While coins in fine or damaged condition may only be worth a small amount, higher-grade examples can still attract collectors and bring higher prices in auctions. Whether you're a beginner collector or a seasoned numismatist, the 1953 1 shilling remains a wonderful piece of British history to own and appreciate. Next up, the United Kingdom 1 shilling 1953, issued during the early reign of Elizabeth II. If you've ever come across this coin in circulated condition, perhaps worn from years of use in pockets, purses, and cash registers, you might be wondering, is it rare? And more importantly, how much is it worth today in dollars? In this detailed episode, we'll explore the history and background of the 1953 1 shilling, examine its unique features, discuss its rarity and collector demand even in damaged or heavily circulated condition, and break down its current auction market value in US dollars. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just starting your numismatic journey, this guide will give you everything you need to know about this fascinating coin. The 1953 1 shilling holds special historical significance because it was among the first coins issued after the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II in 1953. Following the death of George VI in 1952, the British coinage system underwent a transition to reflect the new monarch's portrait. The 1953 issues marked the beginning of a new era in British history, the Elizabethan age. At the time, the 1 shilling was a key denomination in pre-decimal British currency. There were 20 shillings in a pound, and the coin was widely used in everyday transactions. From public transport fares to small household purchases, the shilling was an essential part of daily life across the United Kingdom. The 1953 shilling was struck by the Royal Mint, an institution with a history dating back over 1,100 years. During this period, the Royal Mint was producing millions of coins annually to support post-war Britain's recovering economy. As a result, the mintage numbers for 1953 were relatively high, making the coin common in general circulation, but condition plays a huge role in its value today. The obverse of the 1953 1 shilling features the first portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Mary Gillick. This youthful portrait shows the Queen uncrowned, facing right, with the Latin inscription Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Brit, OMN, Regina, meaning Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen of all the Britons. This design is highly recognizable and beloved by collectors for its simplicity and elegance. On the reverse side, the coin displays the English lion standing on a crown, a bold and patriotic design symbolizing strength and monarchy. The date 1953 appears below the design. The coin is composed of cupronickel, as silver had been removed from British circulating coinage after 1946 due to rising silver prices. 8 In circulated condition, you'll often notice smoothing on the Queen's hair, flattening of the lion's details, and worn lettering around the rim. Edge knocks, scratches, and toning are also common. While these signs of wear reduce the coin's value compared to uncirculated examples, they do not eliminate collector interest entirely, especially if the coin remains readable and structurally intact. Now let's talk about rarity. The 1953 1 shilling is not considered rare in terms of mintage. Millions were produced, and many survive today. However, rarity is not only about numbers, it's also about condition and demand. In heavily circulated or damaged condition with scratches, corrosion, or significant where the coin is classified as common. That said, early Elizabeth II coins have strong nostalgic and historical appeal. Many collectors aim to complete date sets of shillings, and 1953 is an important first year of issue coin for the Queen's reign. Coins in extremely damaged condition, bent, holed, or heavily corroded are generally worth only their collectible novelty value. However, coins in moderate circulated condition, such as fine or very fine grades, still attract beginner collectors who want affordable historical pieces. Additionally, collectors outside the UK, including those in the United States, Canada, and parts of Asia, often purchase these coins for world coin collections. This global interest helps maintain steady demand, even if the coin isn't technically rare. Let's get to the question everyone asks: what is the 1953 United Kingdom 1 shilling worth today in US dollars? In circulated condition, the value typically ranges between $433 to $2,000, depending on the level of wear. A heavily worn or damaged example may sell for under $1, especially in bulk lots. A cleaner fine or very fine example with clear details can bring between $2 and $3 at coin shows or online marketplaces. Auction prices vary depending on presentation, grading, and buyer interest. While circulated coins rarely exceed a few dollars, Uncirculated or proof examples can reach significantly higher values, sometimes $114,000 or more, depending on quality and demand. It's important to remember that auction prices fluctuate. Factors such as silver market trends, even though this coin contains no silver, collector trends, and overall economic conditions influence coin values. If you own a 1953 1 shilling in circulated condition, here are a few helpful tips. First, never clean the coin. Cleaning can permanently damage the surface and significantly reduce its value. Even a common coin can lose appeal if improperly polished. Store the coin properly. Use coin flips, holders, or albums to protect it from further wear and environmental damage. Avoid humidity, which can cause spotting or corrosion over time. Consider building a full-date run of Elizabeth II shillings from the 1950s and 1960s. While individual coins may not be highly valuable, a complete set can be attractive to collectors and potentially more desirable as a group. If you believe your coin is in better than average condition, consider having it evaluated by a reputable coin dealer or grading service. Professional grading can sometimes increase market confidence and selling price. The United Kingdom 1 shilling 1953 may not be a rare treasure in circulated condition, but it carries deep historical significance as one of the first coins issued under Queen Elizabeth II. Its classic lion design, strong connection to Britain's post-war era, and role in everyday commerce make it a meaningful piece of numismatic history, while its auction market value in dollars remains modest for circulated. Examples: the coin continues to attract collectors worldwide due to its historical importance and affordability. Next up, the 1951 United Kingdom 1 shilling coin. At first glance, this coin may appear like an ordinary old British coin, but collectors know that every vintage coin carries a unique story and potential value. Coins from the early 1950s are especially interesting because they were minted during the final years of King George VI's reign, making them historically significant. If you happen to own a 1951 1 shilling coin in excellent condition, you might be holding a collectible item that attracts the attention of coin enthusiasts around the world. In today's video, we'll discuss its history, design features, rarity, collector demand, and most importantly, its current auction market value in US dollars. The 1951 1 shilling coin was issued in the United Kingdom during the reign of King George VI, who ruled Britain from 1936 until 1952. This coin belongs to the pre-decimal British currency system, which existed before the United Kingdom switched to decimal coinage in 1971. At that time, 1 shilling was equal to 12 pence and played an important role in everyday commerce. The coin was minted at the London Mint and produced in relatively moderate numbers compared with earlier years. Historical mint records show that approximately 9.9 million pieces were struck in 1951, making it one of the lower minted shillings of the late George VI era. The year 1951 is also historically important because it marked the final period before the death of King George VI. As a result, coins from this time represent the closing chapter of his coinage series, which adds extra historical appeal for collectors. The 1951 1 shilling coin has several distinctive features that make it easy to recognize. The coin is made from cupronickel, a durable metal alloy commonly used in British coinage after World War II. It weighs approximately 5.65 grams and measures about 23.5 millimeters in diameter. With a reeded edge on the obverse side of the coin, you will see the left-facing portrait of King George VI. Surrounding the portrait is the Latin inscription, Georgiv 6D GBROMNREX, which translates roughly to George VI, by the grace of God, King of all the Britons. The reverse design is equally impressive. It features a lion standing on a crown, symbolizing British power and monarchy. Around the design appears the inscription FID Def IND-IMP, representing Defender of the Faith and Emperor of India, with the denomination 1 shilling and the date 1951 clearly displayed. These classic design elements, created by renowned engravers of the Royal Mint, give the coin both artistic and historical value. Although the 1951 shilling is not considered extremely rare, it is still categorized as relatively scarce compared with many other post-war British coins because of its lower mintage numbers. However, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its value. Coins that are heavily worn, scratched, corroded, or damaged usually sell for much lower prices. Even in damaged or heavily circulated condition, collectors may still purchase these coins simply to fill gaps in their historical collections. Interestingly, some collectors also seek damaged coins for educational purposes, coin restoration practice, or bulk historical collections. While these pieces may not bring high auction prices, they still maintain modest demand because they represent a genuine piece of British monetary history. Now let's talk about the value, the question most collectors are curious about. The price of a 1951 United Kingdom 1 shilling coin depends greatly on its condition and grading. According to collector price guides, circulated examples typically sell for around 80 cents to $1.70, while higher grade pieces may sell for several dollars. However, when a coin is found in excellent or extremely fine condition, the value can rise significantly. Some high-grade pieces may reach $5 to $15 at auctions, especially if the coin has strong detail, original luster, and minimal wear. Uncirculated or near-perfect examples are the most valuable, and collectors may pay even more depending on demand and presentation. Coins graded by professional services or sold in certified holders often achieve higher prices in the international coin market. If you own or are searching for a 1951 1-shilling coin, there are a few important tips to keep in mind. First, always examine the coin's condition carefully. Details like the lion on the crown, the king's portrait, and the lettering should still be sharp for higher grades. Avoid cleaning the coin. Many beginners try to polish old coins, but this actually lowers their collector value. Keeping the coin in its original condition is always better. Proper storage is essential. Store your coins in protective holders, coin capsules, or albums to prevent scratches, moisture damage, and corrosion. If you believe you have an exceptionally well-preserved coin, consider having it graded by a professional coin grading service. Certified coins often attract higher bids from serious collectors. To conclude, the 1951 United Kingdom 1-shilling coin is a fascinating piece of British history. Minted during the final years of King George VI's reign, it represents an important era in the United Kingdom's pre-decimal currency system. With its elegant design, moderate mintage, and historical significance, the coin continues to attract collectors from around the world. While common circulated examples may only be worth a few dollars, coins in excellent or uncirculated condition can achieve higher values in auctions and collector market. Next up, the 1957 United Kingdom 1-shilling coin. At first glance, this coin may appear ordinary, but collectors know that even common circulating coins can carry historical significance and collectible value. In today's video, we will explore the background of this coin, its unique features, its rarity among collectors, and most importantly, its auction market value in US dollars when found in very fine condition. If you have old British coins in your collection, you may want to check them closely on. The of them could be worth more than your 1957 1-shilling coin was issued during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, who ascended the British throne in 1952. These coins were part of the traditional pre-decimal British currency system, where 1 shilling was equal to 12 pence and 1/20th of a pound. The coin was produced at the Royal Mint in London and circulated widely across the United Kingdom during the 1950s. This coin belongs to the early coinage of Queen Elizabeth II's reign and represents the era before the United Kingdom switched to decimal currency in 1971. Millions of these coins were produced to support everyday transactions in shops, markets, and businesses throughout Britain. Even though it was a common circulation coin, today it serves as an important reminder of mid-20th century British history and currency design. The 1957 1-shilling coin has several interesting design features that make it appealing to collectors. On the obverse side, the coin displays the young laureate portrait of Queen Elizabeth II facing to the right. The portrait was designed by artist Mary Gillick and is surrounded by the Latin inscription meaning Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen. On the reverse side, there are actually two possible designs, the English reverse and the Scottish reverse. The English version features a crown shield with 3 lions representing England, while the Scottish version displays a crown shield with a single lion rampant representing Scotland. Both versions include the words 1 shilling along with the date. The coin is made from cupronickel, weighs about 5.65 grams, and measures 23.6 millimeters in diameter, with a reeded edge around the rim. These specifications were standard for British shillings of that period. Despite its historical significance, the 1957 shilling is generally considered a fairly common coin, mainly because tens of millions were produced during that year. For example, the English reverse variety alone had a mintage of over 42 million coins, while the Scottish reverse version had around 18 million coins struck. Because of these high mintages, collectors usually focus on coins in excellent condition. However, even damaged or circulated coins can still have some collector interest. People who collect full date sets of British shillings often purchase lower grade examples to complete their collections. Coins with unusual toning, mint errors, or historical provenance may also attract additional attention in the collector market. Now let's talk about the value of the 1957 1-shilling coin. The price can vary depending on condition, rarity of the design type, and market demand. According to coin value guides, a 1957 shilling in very fine condition typically sells for around £1.50, while higher grade examples can reach several pounds or more. When converted into US dollars, that places a very fine example roughly around $2 to $4, although auction results can sometimes be slightly higher depending on collector demand. Uncirculated examples or special varieties can reach higher prices, sometimes exceeding $10 to $20 or more in collector auctions. Online marketplaces also show similar ranges, with circulated coins sometimes selling for a few pounds depending on condition and presentation. If you may have a 1957 1 shilling coin, there are a few important tips to remember before selling or adding it to your collection. First, carefully examine the coin's condition. Coins graded very fine or better tend to attract more interest from collectors. To check which reverse design you have, the English or Scottish version, because some collectors prefer one variety over the other. Avoid cleaning the coin. Cleaning can damage the surface and significantly reduce its collector value. Instead, keep it stored safely in a protective coin holder or album. Finally, if you believe your coin is in exceptional condition, consider having it evaluated by a professional coin dealer or grading service. Proper grading can increase buyer confidence and sometimes lead to higher auction prices. In conclusion, the 1957 United Kingdom 1 shilling coin may not be among the rarest British coins, but it remains an interesting collectible with historical significance. Its connection to the early years of Queen Elizabeth II's reign and the pre-decimal British currency system makes it an appealing piece for many coin collectors. While a very fine example might only be worth a few dollars today, well-preserved coins or unique varieties can still attract attention in the auction market. Next up, the United Kingdom 1 shilling 1962 coin, struck during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. If you've ever come across this coin in your collection or inherited it from family, you might be wondering, is it rare? And more importantly, how much is it worth today in dollars? In this detailed video, we'll explore the coin's history, its design features, collector demand even in damaged condition, and its current auction market value. Let's uncover the true story behind the 1962 British shilling. The 1962 1 shilling was issued in the United Kingdom during a transformative period in British monetary history. At that time, Britain was still using the pre-decimal currency system, where £1 equaled 20 shillings and 1 shilling equaled 12 pence. Decimalisation would not occur until 1971, meaning the 1962 shilling represents one of the final chapters of the traditional pound SD system. The coin was minted under the authority of Royal Mint, one of the oldest minting institutions in the world. By 1962, the 1 shilling was no longer made of silver. Since 1947, British shillings had been struck in cupronickel due to post-war silver shortages and economic changes. Therefore, the 1962 issue contains no precious metal value. Its worth lies entirely in collectability and condition. During this period, Britain was experiencing economic restructuring, modernization, and growing global influence under Queen Elizabeth II's early reign. Coins like the 1962 shilling circulated widely in everyday transactions from bus fares to grocery purchases, making high-grade surviving examples more desirable today. The obverse of the 1962 1 shilling features the youthful portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by sculptor Mary Gillick. This portrait, often referred to as the first portrait, shows the Queen uncrowned, symbolizing a modern and approachable monarchy at the start of her reign. Surrounding the portrait is the Latin inscription, Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina F Laughing Smiley, which translates to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. On the reverse, the coin displays the English crest, 3 lions passant guardant within a crown shield. This elegant and traditional heraldic design had been used on shillings for years and represents England's royal arms. The denomination 1 shilling and the date 1962 appear clearly beneath the design. The coin weighs approximately 5.65 grams and measures 23.5 millimeters in diameter. Its milled edge helps prevent clipping and counterfeiting. In fine condition, the coin shows moderate wear. The high points of the Queen's hair and the lions on the reverse will appear slightly flattened, but all main details and inscriptions remain clearly visible. Now, let's talk about rarity. The 1962 1 shilling is not considered rare in terms of mintage. In fact, millions were produced for circulation. However, rarity in numismatics is not just about how many were made, it's about how many survived in collectible condition. Because the coin circulated heavily, many surviving examples today are found in worn, scratched, or even damaged condition. Coins in fine condition are common, but heavily damaged examples, bent, holed, corroded, or cleaned low, have significantly reduced collector demand. Interestingly, even damaged coins still attract beginner collectors who are building affordable date runs. While serious investors prefer extremely fine or uncirculated examples, entry-level collectors may still purchase worn pieces simply to complete a collection of pre-decimal British coins. The real scarcity appears in high-grade uncirculated examples with strong luster and sharp strike. Those pieces are much harder to find because most coins saw active use for years before being withdrawn after decimalization in 1971. In fine condition, a typical circulated example generally sells for approximately 30 cents to $1 USD. Because the coin contains no silver, its base value remains low. However, condition plays a crucial role. In very fine condition, Values may range from low in extremely fine condition. Prices can reach $321,000 in uncirculated condition. Bright and well-preserved examples may sell for $10 to $20 at auction, sometimes slightly more if exceptionally preserved. Coins with errors such as off-center strikes or die variations can command higher prices depending on rarity. However, standard 1962 issues remain affordable for most collectors in auction platforms, and coin marketplaces show that demand remains steady but not explosive. This is a classic collector's coin rather than an investment powerhouse. Still, pristine examples certified by grading services can perform better in competitive auctions. If you are considering adding a 1962 1 shilling to your collection, here are a few helpful tips. First, focus on condition. Since the coin is common, only high-grade examples show meaningful value growth potential. Look for strong detail in the queen's hair and clear lion features on the reverse. Avoid harshly cleaned coins. Cleaning reduces value significantly, even if the coin looks shiny. Natural toning is preferred by experienced collectors. Consider buying from reputable dealers or auction houses. Authentication is generally straightforward for this coin, but buying from trusted sources ensures fair pricing. If you aim for long-term appreciation, target uncirculated examples stored properly in protective holders. While dramatic price increases are unlikely, steady collector interest keeps the coin relevant. Remember that this coin represents history. Its real value lies not just in dollars, but in its connection to Britain's pre-decimal monetary era. The United Kingdom 1 shilling 1962 may not be the rarest coin in British history, but it holds undeniable historical charm. Issued during the early reign of Queen Elizabeth II and struck by the Royal Mint, it represents a bygone era of British currency before decimalisation transformed the system forever. In fine condition, its value remains modest, usually under a few dollars, yet demand continues among collectors completing date sets or exploring mid-20th century British coinage. While it may not make you rich, it offers an affordable entry into classic UK numismatics. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1962 1 shilling, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more detailed coin value breakdown.